the will, your husband's will, he either made one or he didn't, or you verbally know he told you what he wanted and he wanted to or didn't want. Nonetheless, we know our husbands, we know what they wanted, whether their will was written down or not. It's important to do what they willed. A Greek word for will is, or Hebrew is pleasure. So what was their pleasure? What would make them happy? What would you do to please them? So once again, it just follows from my last video to give. When we have to fulfill something that was in the will of our loved ones, whether it was written down or verbal to us, it's quite daunting. I'm still, after 8 months, a few days ago was 8-month anniversary of my husband's death, and I'm still busy doing what he would want me to do, what was his will, what was his pleasure, what would please him. And it doesn't stop. I suppose every day you continue to do things that would please him. So this video is about just a few strategies that helped me. If I specifically feel that doing something that he wanted me to do that in the will was hurtful, not hurtful in the sense that he wanted me to do something to hurt someone, but whilst you're doing something, for example, it just upsets you, best to leave it and do it on a day when you feel better. That's personally what I've done. As I say, I'm not an experienced counselor or whatever, but I think just knowing that someone else has to do it, you find comfort in that. Also, to know whilst you're doing this, it would please him, and pleasing him makes you happy. So there's this bittersweet, this is making me happy, but it's really hard to do, but it's something you got to push through. And for me, the baseline is, I always go back to, you left him in the hospital. You had to leave him in the hospital so he could go to the morgue. Hard to say these things. Hard to do. Then you actually prepared for his funeral. And then you saw the coffin. You had to leave the coffin, whether it was going to the crematorium or when it was going down for burial. So either way, you have gone through the toughest times of your life. So that's the baseline. Nothing can be tougher than that. At least in my experience. Perhaps you would disagree or agree. But it just motivates me. I say, well, if you could do that, then this is nothing. Doing something in the world. So these are just mind strategies. And ask yourself, how would I feel if I didn't do it today? How would I feel if I did it tomorrow or when I was feeling better? How would I feel if I did it in a year's time? Unless, of course, it's stipulated in the will a certain time period. Other than that, you can do it tomorrow, you can do it next week, you can do it the following week, you can do it in a year's time, 2 years, 3 years. There is no time scale. So be kind to yourself, do what pleases yourself, but at the same time knowing what was in the will and doing it will please him and make you happy at the same time. And remember, you're strong. You've got this far. You can get further.